Are you also someone whose shoulders are pulled so far forward it is observed more frequently today? And maybe you also have a burning sensation between the shoulder blades.
I am Roland Liebscher Bracht, and I will explain to you how this comes about, and above all, how you can get rid of it.
The reason is quite simple. What do we do in everyday life? Where do we have the arms? In the kitchen, while writing, while massaging, while tinkering, crafting something. We always have them, less down there, we have them here in the front. We have them here in the front, that is at an angle of about 45 degrees forward. We have them rarely here, even more rarely there, even more rarely rotated inside. We always have them here in front. So here in the front it is always getting shorter because it is always set to short. These muscles that run over here, the pectoralis major, the pectoralis minor, they are all here in this area. And the minor one practically goes from the coracoid process, that's what it's called, to the chest. And the big one goes from the arm over here and pulls everything there, covers everything there. And when that is set to short, it will always get shorter. And now, what happens is that when the muscles and tendons in the front here get shorter, the shoulder moves further forward because everything is very flexible and movable. There is nothing solid bones, everything is movable. And the muscles in the back start having problems because they have to resist. That's why it sometimes burns so bad. In the middle, more on one side, more on the other side, and it's all the result of the shortenings that we train in everyday life without even noticing. And no one explains it to us, and we just wonder why the shoulders keep moving further forward and why there is more and more burning in the back, in the upper back. And just as the body adapts to the fact that we always have our arms here, the same happens during sleep, because many people sleep on their side and the shoulder is pushed forward in the lateral position, and often the other arm is also brought close to the body. And the same applies in sleep, that is, all day, and also at night we train for shortness, and the body always responds to what we train and adapts to it. This is trained by ourselves without us knowing. And now you naturally want to know, what do we do about it? Ina will show you, I will explain. Ina, please lie on your stomach. And we had said here in the front it will be too short. And what becomes too short must be stretched so that it becomes longer again, so that it is correct again. For the right side, extend the right arm at shoulder height and try to touch the ground with the shoulder. Then place a hand's breadth higher, and now we must make sure that the angle of the trunk does not change. It's pure mathematics because there are shortenings there. And that's why Ina now extends her left leg about 30 centimeters out, pulls her extended right leg close, and now we have to be careful so that the rotation doesn't change the angle in the shoulder joint. The left hand is next to the face and Ina looks to the left, and now you slowly turn around, and as you turn, you stick out your left knee. The shoulder stays down and a stretching occurs. And you go into this stretch so deeply that you can just about bear it, increase it for 2 minutes. And this way, the muscles and fascia will give in. So when stretching, you add a little bit more so that you always stay at the limit of just tolerable discomfort. You do that on the right side and immediately on the left side. Then it continues for 2 to 2.5 minutes. Then go to the prone position and we'll do the second exercise. The upper arm remains in place where it is, but the forearm straightens out. And now the same thing happens, but you will notice when you practice that it is more difficult. You step again with the left leg stretched 30 centimeters to the left, followed by the right leg, place the left hand down, and now lower the shoulder. You notice, Ina, you can't even stay all the way down, but stay as far down as possible and turn around. Turn around, and when turning, no stop, the leg must stay here. You may, when turning, it's good that you made the mistake, Ina, because if you now put your right leg back to the center while turning, the shoulder angle changes. That must not happen. So the leg stays in place, but the leg slides out, the knee to be more precise. And now you notice it pulls differently, it pulls sharper, that's where the pain is, and it pulls sharper in, but opens up a lot of mobility. Also increase for 2 to 2.5 minutes and then slowly release and do the same on the other side. That was the second exercise. The third exercise, you stretch your arm again, go to shoulder height, and now you go from the middle of shoulder height past the head. These are 45 degrees, they are about here, shoulder down, and the same process again. Left leg stretched out, right leg stretched in, left hand placed next to the face, head looking to the left, so head also turns clearly to the left. And now slowly rotate in, and as you rotate, the leg goes, no, not the leg back, just the leg goes out. Yes, then the angle is still correct. You go into the stretch, and what you will notice now, the angle of 45 degrees is significantly harder than the one at 10 degrees. This one focuses more on the shoulder itself, this one focuses more on the thoracic spine and the chest vertebrae, as far as pain relief is concerned. Yes? And then you increase again for 2 to 2.5 minutes, do the same on the other side. Fourth exercise, you go back into the prone position, legs can come straight again, and now you let the upper arm stay at 45 degrees and bend at the elbow joint, yes. Try to keep the shoulder down, which is again difficult. Extend your left leg out, bring your right leg in, place the hand down, look to the left, and now go into this stretch, okay? That's the most intense stretch. Yes, that's why we have also increased it, because that is the exercise that is the most uncomfortable, but at the same time brings the most benefit. It's a kind of rule with these exercises. The more uncomfortable they are, the more benefits they carry. All the immobility that causes the pain, all that wear and tear in the joint, all of that you can eliminate well with these exercises. Remember to stay for 2 to 2.5 minutes on the left side too. And now there is another reinforcement. Go back with your legs by raising the forearm at an angle and you will notice something. Ina, pull in even more now, because in addition to bringing the arm back, there is also an external rotation. And if you look closely, the pulled forward collapsed shoulders, they're not just pulled forward. They are also rotated inwards. They are rotated in practically with this movement so that you can also address that with this external rotation. You notice it becomes more and more intricate. You can set this aside with this elevation first and then use it after a few weeks, but with that you can resolve it wonderfully. The previous exercises have been characterized by the fact that we practically caused a sharp bend backwards in the shoulder. This is now supplemented by a second sequence, where the angles remain the same, but we simultaneously stretch out the entire rib cage, the entire chest muscles on both sides. And for that, a corner or a door frame is perfectly suitable. Both work. Ina, go around the corner. You first bring your arms to the horizontal, then a hand's breadth higher, 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, and now do what we did unilaterally on the ground. In the corner, we make a larger stretch and you run with the upper end of the sternum further and further into the corner. So running, moving, I should have said. So you do this for 2 to 2.5 minutes. The principle is the same. Then you go out, take your arms like this, bend forward and do the same for both sides. Then you go to 45 degrees, first stretched, go in, always 2 to 2.5 minutes. I'll just show it briefly so you can understand what you have to do. And then bend the arms again a little higher so that the 45 degrees of the upper arms are maintained, and again with the upper end of the sternum into the corner. And with that, you have an exercise sequence that absolutely ensures that it is nicely stretched out in the front here. And additionally, you do the following. You stand up. Let's do it together. Stand up, arms horizontal. You don't need to be so close to me. That one sees the arms individually, yes, and slightly higher and pull back, out of the hollow back and pull back. 2 to 2.5 minutes, that is really exhausting, that is strength training. Then do the same with bent arms, the same at a 45-degree angle, the same bent at a 45-degree angle, and if you want to do more. Then you not only pull back, but also externally rotate your upper arm at the same time. So you realize you can do a lot. And now the question is, there are so many exercises, how do I start now? Suggestion, start with 1 or 2 exercises, maybe with arms extended at this angle and with arms bent at this angle. Leave it at that. Do 45-degree stretch and bent a day later, on the mat a day later, and mix it up so that your personal time management can keep up well, and then you will be amazed at what happens. So after a short time, a few weeks, you will already notice a complete change. And since the forward pulled shoulders often occur simultaneously with a rounded back due to poor posture, you can find more videos on our channel that can help you. We say goodbye until next time.